What's up, guys? I'm Jake, and first off, I'd like to thank you for your feedback on my last commentary. Some really good feedback, and I will try and continue making quality videos. In this gameplay, it's a domination on downturn, and my class setup is the MP7 Rapid Fire. Dual Scorpions, which are amazing if you decide to get them. They have a really, really good range. Like, you wouldn't really think a Scorpion of having, like, I mean, it had a really good range in COD 4, I guess, but you wouldn't really think of using it as a long-distance weapon. But if you're using a submachine gun with a lot of recoil, or like a shotgun, and you want to pick somebody off long distance, just try the Dual Scorpions, because you'll be really surprised. With grenades, I'm using Semtex and Flash, and my perks are Sleight of hand, quick draw, and steady aim. I think. Don't hold me to that because I really don't remember a lot about this game. And my kill streak loadout is the Predator, the attack helicopter, and the payload. So, some tips for downturn. I would stay underground, like by B, because if you can control B, you can get a lot of kills. I mean, that's just it. You can control the entire pace of the game. And you can also kill people coming from C, and you can flank around to A really easily. So, and also that building I was just in before I died is really good. And I'm actually recording this Friday afternoon. If you're wondering, hey, wait a minute, Friday, you're probably still in school, and I am. I'm a sophomore in high school, but we actually got a snow day, which is awesome. The weather, people actually got something right this time. And we actually have Monday off for exams, so that's a 4-day weekend, which is just awesome. I'll try and put out some videos during that time. And I'll just apologize now if I sound a little weird right now because I'm a little sick. My throat's kind of sore, and I might be taking sips of water here periodically. And yeah, so in this commentary, I want to talk about a topic that is very controversial and very popular right now, and that is Tim Tebow. And before you just exit out of this video, oh yeah, fuck Tim Tebow, he's stupid, I'm done. Just watch the video. I mean, just listen to what I have to say. If you don't like it, fine, dislike it. I really don't care. But if you might learn something. And first off, I'll just say what I think about him. I mean, I really like him. I mean, I've been following him since sophomore year of college. When my friend was like, "Oh, dude, you gotta check this guy out," and then I was kind of hopped on the Tebow train. But regardless of what you think, he's a really inspirational player. I mean, he's an amazing athlete. He puts more work into football than anybody. I mean, he works out, and he spent like I think a month in really intense training so he could throw the ball better. So people who don't like his throwing motion he would satisfy them. He did that just for that. So, and I mean, if you don't know what T-bowing is, I'm pretty sure you should know that. But if you don't, it's like when he bends over and like kneels down and prays. And that's T-bowing is a verb in the dictionary now. So, I mean, that just shows you. And if you've seen the website, like people post pictures like T-bowing around the world in front of like monuments and stuff. I've actually seen one that was like an unborn fetus inside of its mom. It was like one of those scans or whatever, and the baby had its like fist up to its head, and the picture said like, "Oh, my son's T-bowing before he's even born." So I mean, that just shows you how much of a splash Tim Tebow has had as early as he's come on. Like, he's right now the favorite player he's the most favorite athlete in the world right now, and nobody's ever done that as young or as early as Tim Tebow has. So I mean, that just shows you how much of an impact he has. And right now they're like John Elway, who is, I think he's the CEO of the Broncos, great quarterback at his time, but I think there's talk about them trading Tim Tebow to Jacksonville for a couple draft picks, and I honestly think that's really stupid. That'd be ridiculous, because I mean, Denver isn't Denver without Tim Tebow. I mean, you can say that, oh, the defense just bails him out. He's not really that good, but Denver was 4-14 without Tim Tebow. So I mean, you can't say he hasn't done something because the entire team plays like a team. They play really good with him as the quarterback. In the fourth quarter, when they need a play, when Tim Tebow goes on the sidelines and talks to the team, they want to make a play. They want to make a play for Tebow, and that's just how that is. I think John Elway would be incredibly stupid if he traded him. But I mean, just because you were a great quarterback in your day doesn't mean you're a great coach or a great. Just because you were good doesn't mean you can manage a football team. And like I said before, how the defense bails him out. I mean, you can also say that his stats aren't good, and I would have to agree with you. His stats are not very good. But the bottom line is he wins games. I mean, he gets a W in the record book with his fourth quarter comebacks and his overtime wins, and that's why they're in the playoffs is because of those wins. So I mean, you can say, oh well, his stats aren't good, but quarterbacks with the same stat or with better stats who didn't make the playoffs. I mean, what does that mean? They're good, but they didn't make the playoffs. I mean, that's just it. They made the playoffs. Those are wins. And the first playoff game, the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the best defenses in the NFL. Or I don't know if they're the number one. They're number one rush defense, and they're like the number 8 pass. So one of the best. And Tim Tebow threw for 316 yards against them. So obviously he's doing something right. And then talking about him from a religious standpoint, I know a lot of people, and I can understand. I mean, if I had a guy who was like a different religion and all he talked about was like his religion, then I guess I could be a little irritated too. But I mean, just because you don't have to believe in God to believe in Tebow, like that's just it. And how he credits God with his success, I mean, I'm speaking hypothetically here because obviously I can't just tell you like what it is because I don't know. I mean, if I just said, "Oh, yep, God makes them win the games," then I would be lying or I wouldn't be lying, but I don't know, and that's not something you can physically prove. But I think a lot of other players pray, and a lot of like teams have like praying circles or whatever. But I think it's also due to the fact that Tim Tebow lives his life like that. Like that's how he lives his life. Like, he lives that good Christian life. And so I think that might help him out there. But like I said, can't really prove it. So, and also speaking religiously, in the Pittsburgh game, like I said, he threw for 316 yards, and which kind of an interesting story. Not really, don't really think it has to do with anything. It's just kind of a coincidence. But in college, when he used to write Bible verses on his eye blacks, his favorite one was John 3:16, which I think just kind of ironic, kind of a cool story. But so yeah, hopefully you sort of learned something about Tim Tebow that you might have already known. Maybe I changed your opinion, maybe I haven't. And yeah, so oh yeah, and like I said, today's Friday. I'll probably get this video up in the next day or two. And Sunday is the New England game, which I think it'll be a really good game. Like everybody's like, oh, Tom Brady's just gonna blow him out, but I don't really think that's gonna happen. I mean, maybe it is, but I think if Tim Tebow plays like he did, if they can score, if they can play like they did, because that was one of the best defenses in the NFL, and so you're going from one of the best defenses to one of the worst. So so if Tim Tebow can put up points, and they're the number one rush team in the NFL, the Broncos are. So if they can control the clock and not let Tom Brady beat Tom Brady and have the time that he needs, then I think they might have a lot better of a chance. And if the defense can make a couple plays, I think it'll be a really good game. I think it'll be pretty high scoring. I mean, I can't predict the future, but I think that's what'll happen. That's just my view. And I really hope they win, not just because I want Tim Tebow to do well, but because if they don't win, then it'll be one of those, oh, it's all Tim Tebow's fault. We said he sucked. We were right, And I don't really think that'll be true. I mean, it's Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. A lot of teams are going to lose to him. I mean, that's just how it goes. But so yeah, go root for Tim Tebow this Sunday. And yeah, so like I said, hopefully you learned something. Hopefully your view might be different. If you wanna leave a comment, feel free to. But I just ask you keep it mature. Don't just say, oh, Tim Tebow, oh, he sucks. You know. I mean, if you say that, at least back up why you're saying that. Like, say why you think he sucks. And yeah, so the final score of this game was 49-4. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys later. Peace.